Okay, shalom. Shalom. I'm getting ready to do this lesson. Welcome. I'm getting ready to do this lesson, remnant of Israel. Earlier, I was looking at a post, and quite often we see a brother will make a comment concerning the, they'll say that Esau and Jacob uh, are, we shouldn't say Esau as being someone different than ourselves, those of us that are Israelites, because uh, that they're brothers. Okay, and so then there's a teaching going around saying that Esau is the Arabs. That's a teaching that's going around. Okay, so because that teaching is going around and that teaching is not correct, um, I want to go into the scriptures and I want to point out what thus saith Yah and show why it is possible for a situation like the case of Jacob and Esau to happen. Uh, Even for that matter, situation like Isaac and Ishmael. Okay, that's what I want to do in this lesson. Uh, because I believe if I bring out some scriptures, I believe that it will clear up a misconception that uh, some have that leads them to think that Esau is someone other than who he is. Okay, so as you can see up there in Genesis 25:23, I know all of you are familiar with that, but I'll just go ahead and read it since I posted it up there, and I'll just go ahead and lead out with that scripture, and then we'll just go from there. Okay, all right, okay. So in Genesis 25:23, as you know the story, uh, Rebecca, Isaac's wife, could not conceive, and she went to her husband Isaac and said, "Look, look, give me children or I'll die." And then Isaac's like, hey, look, I'm not the one that will hold, keep the fruit of the womb from you. You know, that is Yah. That's Yah's business. He's the one that shut your womb. So anyway, nevertheless, Isaac, her husband, went to Yah and petitioned Yah on the behalf of his wife so that she could conceive. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna, and then she did conceive. In time, she did conceive, and there's this great struggle going on inside of her. And then she goes to inquire of Yah as to why it's like a war going on inside of her womb. Okay. So I'm gonna look at this. Um, Verse 21, and Isaac entreated or petitioned Yah for his wife because she was barren, and Yah was entreated of him. That means that Yah granted him his request that she would get pregnant, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, in other words, Yah, if it be so that I have been blessed by you to have uh, to conceive, why is it like a war going on inside my womb? Okay, so she says, if it be so, why am I this way? And she went to inquire of Yah. And Yah said unto her, two nations are in your womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from your bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Okay, so the older of the two children is going to serve the younger. Okay, now let me point out something on this word right here, nations. If you look up the word nations in, if you go through and take a Hebrew lexicon and you look up what the word nations means, the word nation means ethnicities. Okay, the word nations here means ethnicities. So if we read it again, and Yah said unto her, two ethnicities are in your womb, and two manner of people. Okay, so there are two ethnicities in Rebekah's womb, the wife of Isaac. And we know from scripture that there was nothing else going on. The only person, the only man that she had contact with was Isaac. So the question is, how in the world could two ethnicities be in her womb if Isaac and if Rebecca are both Hebrews? Okay, so this is the question. All right, this is the question. Now, here is another thing we need to look at too in the situation with Abraham. Abraham had a son named Ishmael. Then later he had a son named Isaac. But Ishmael was a certain ethnicity, okay, that would not inherit, was not entitled to inherit what Isaac was to inherit. And a matter of fact, excuse me, matter of fact, when Isaac and his other sons when Ishmael got to a certain age, and also the other sons of Abraham got to a certain age, Abraham had to give them gifts and send them away from Isaac. Why? Because they were two different uh, ethnicities. One is a child of promise, one is a child of the flesh. Okay? One is a child of promise by the Spirit, which means by the announcement of Yah. Okay? And the other one is a child of flesh. Now, we have to comprehend that um, children of the flesh and children of uh, Yah, as the scriptures might say, the word might say God, we have to comprehend that. And I know that a lot of people, and it's common on the earth for people to say we all created equal. That is not true. Not if you want to believe what Yah says. Now, if you want to believe what man says, uh, man will say that we're all created equal, but that's not found in the scripture. If we were all created equal, then Abraham would not have to send his other sons away from Isaac. They would be able to inherit the same thing from Yah that Isaac is going to inherit. Okay? Same thing with Esau and Jacob. If Esau and Jacob were equal ethnicities, then there would not have been a war going on in Rebekah's room. Okay? There would not have been a war. And also, Yah would not have said, Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. Okay? And if you want to put it like this, we could say, Jacob have I loved, Esau have I loved less. Okay? You could say it that way also if you want. Esau I have loved less. But just staying true to the way the word says it, Esau have I hated, Jacob have I loved. Meaning Jacob is going to inherit what all children of promise by the Spirit, okay, the spirit of Yah, are supposed to receive. What is that? Children of promise by the spirit, like Isaac, are supposed to receive. They receive rulership. They receive rulership. They receive material blessings. They receive protection from Yah. They receive the land. The land is entitled the land of Canaan, which is called the land of Israel now. They receive uh, sons and daughters that also inherit. Okay, this is what the children of promise by the Spirit receive. Everyone is not a child of promise, and the children of the flesh are not entitled to what uh, these that are called the children of God, or the children of Israel, or the children of the promise by the Spirit are to receive. They cannot receive. Okay, now there are more than one type of children of flesh on the earth. I need to say this. Okay, the children of the flesh would be like your Ammonites. The children of the flesh would be like your Moabites. The children of the flesh would be like your Ishmaelites. Uh, now, uh, let me say this. There is another line. There is another line on the earth, which are the children of Satan. Okay. There is another line on the earth. Okay. The children of the devil. If you do your own word study, you will see Yeshua made mention of them. John made mention of them, the Apostle John. Paul made mention of them. We'll probably look at that in just a minute. And let's see. And actually Yah made mention, and Yah himself made mention of it in Genesis 3. Let's go look at it. Genesis 3, the Most High revealing this to Moses. See, now let me say something on, like Genesis, Exodus, Genesis and Exodus. Well, let's say Genesis. Okay, Genesis was revealed to Moses, even though Moses was not born. Okay, until later. Okay, all right. So this what I'm getting ready to look at and read. Okay, we have to understand that the Most High revealed many things to Moses even before he was born. All right. Now let's look at something here in Genesis 3. Let's look at something. Now, Yah is speaking to the serpent, the woman, and then Adam in that order. Okay, that's what he's doing. So I'm in Genesis chapter 3, and I'm going to read verse 15. Now, a lot of people do not take this literally. I don't know why, but they don't take it literal. They I guess they can't believe that there can be literal children of the devil on the earth, but there are. All right, now this is Yah speaking. This is our Abba Yah speaking. He says here, I will put enmity, which means hostility. I will put hostility between you, speaking to the serpent, and the woman, referring to Eve. Okay, referring to womb man. Let me say that. It's referring to womb man. And between your offspring, the word offspring means seed. I mean, seed means offspring. Between your offspring, O serpent, and her offspring, it shall bruise your head. Okay, who is the one that bruised the power or the head of the serpent? None other than Yeshua Elohim, our Redeemer. He bruised the head of, or the power of Satan. Okay, he did. So this is also a double prophecy really here. Okay, it shall bruise. So it should say, he shall bruise, or my son shall bruise your head. The head is the center of your authority. Okay, so Yah is saying, he shall bruise, my son, the word Elohim, will bruise your power, okay, or your authority, and you shall bruise his heel. And that's exactly what happened, because uh, as you know, the Edomite Romans did drive nails through his heel, didn't they? Yes, they did. Okay, but Yeshua did bruise the power or authority that Satan had. Okay, so where is that found? Where Yeshua did that for his father? That's found in Romans chapter 9. Romans 8, verse 3. Romans 8, verse 3. All right. So now, here we see, and then Yah said, unto the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply your sorrow, your conception. In sorrow you shall bring forth children, and your desire shall be to your husband, and he shall rule over you. Okay. Well, what happened here is that what I need to share with you is that Eve, originally her name was Mrs. Adam. I can show you that in Genesis chapter 5, verse 2. Originally, Yah made them Mr. and Mrs. Adam. That's found in Genesis 5, 2. Matter of fact, I'm right here. I'll go ahead and read it. I'll start at verse 1. This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that Yah created man, in the likeness of Yah made he him. Speaking of Adam, male and female created Yah them, and blessed them, and called their name, what? Adam. So this is Mr. Adam and Mrs. Adam, and called their name Adam in the day they were created. But something happened here. One of their names got changed. And this is what I want you to see. One of their names got changed. Mrs. Adam's name got changed to Eve by her husband. Why? Because of what happened in the garden with her being deceived by the serpent. Her name was changed by her husband because she became the mother of all living. And that is why it is possible for a Hebrew man and a Hebrew woman that have a child that is a different ethnicity other than them. Any ethnicity can come through that womb. And that's what happened. Eve bore Cain. Cain was not, and I know you're going to jump out of your seat, Cain was not Adam's son. Abel was, Cain was not. Okay? Now, before you get all excited and say, I don't believe that, then hold on for a second. Just hold on. Don't be in a hurry, Israel. A lot of you are in a hurry sometimes when somebody's trying to bring something out. Wait till you hear the scriptures. Wait till you hear the evidence. 1 Thessalonians 5:21. Prove all things, hold on to that which is good or true. Okay? Now, Eve, Mrs. Adams' name got changed to Eve. Who changed her name? Her husband. He said, I will now call you Eve, because you are the mother of all that are made alive. Okay? So this is why also with Noah. Noah had what? 3 sons. Shem, Ham, and Japheth. They were different ethnicities. Shem was like Isaac, a child of promise by the Spirit, the same as the remnant type Israelites today. And everybody is not a remnant type Israelite, by the way, okay? Everybody is not a remnant type Israelite. Where is that? Romans chapter 10. Read through Isaiah 10, Isaiah chapter 10, verse 20 through, I believe it is like 24. Read that and you'll see that every person that has a visage of an Israelite on the outer appearance is not a remnant type Israelite. Okay? So, but as you know, Noah had 3 sons. Shem, Ham, and Japheth. One of those sons was a remnant type, a child of promise, okay, a royal line. They were a royal bloodline type. The other 2 were servant types, okay. There is a royal line and there's a servant line on the earth, even in this day, and there always has been, okay. There's a royal line and there's a servant line. Just to prove this, this is why when you hear anthropologists, they say they dug up bones of a Homo sapien, you know, a 2-legged, you know, person that lived a long time ago. That's why they do dig them up. That's not a hoax. There are fossils that they dig up because those are the children of the flesh. Yes, those are the children of the flesh. There are 3 types of children on the earth. You have the royal line, which are children of God, also known as children of Israel, the remnant children of Israel. And then you have children of the flesh. And then you do have children of the serpent. Yes, you do. You do have children of the serpent. Okay. So now right here in verse 15, he's telling the serpent, and we do know the serpent is not talking about a snake. Okay. The serpent is not talking about a snake. People need to stop that. How do we know it? Well, there's more than one way to know, but first of all, snakes don't talk and they don't reason, and they don't have more intelligence than a person, you know, like Mrs. Adam in this case. And also, in the book of Revelation, it clearly tells you that the serpent, that Satan is that old serpent, the devil, the dragon. Okay, look up that reference when you get a chance, Samuel. Maybe you can put that reference up there. So the serpent was just a name. It was like a metaphor, okay, just to refer to the fact that Satan was very cunning and crafty in the way he went about things. So that's all that is. It just means he was cunning and crafty. Okay, and okay, if you look at verse 20, I'm still in Genesis chapter 3, and now I'm going to verse 20. Here is where Mrs. Adam gets her name changed to Eve. She was called Mrs. Adam, as I showed you over in Genesis 5:2. Okay, but now over here in Genesis verse 20 of chapter 3, Adam called his wife's name Eve because she was the mother of all living. See that? She became the mother of all living, of all living. So anything, any ethnicity can come through the womb of an Eve. Okay? This is why, because of the transgression that took place in the garden, the serpent gained access to the how can I say it, the bloodline, okay, he gained access, okay, to the bloodline, and his children can come through there, okay, children of the flesh can come through there, and children like Seth, which was Adam's son, that Yah gave him to replace the one that Cain killed. Okay? Now, I said I was going to give you some more proof that Cain is not Adam's son. If you go to 1 John chapter 3, verse 12, you'll clearly see there also, there is another proof. There's your second proof that Cain is of the offspring of the serpent. All right, what's another proof? If you go to Genesis 4, let's see here. If you go to Genesis, give me a second here. Yeah, okay, Genesis 4, I'm right here. If you go to Genesis 4 and look at that, and then if you go look at Genesis 5, you will see, in Genesis 4, you will see the lineage of Cain. But then if you go over to Genesis 5, you'll see the generations of Adam. Okay, you will not see Cain listed amongst the generation of Adam. And another proof, a fourth proof, is that if you read verse 3, it tells you that Adam lived 130 years and begot a son in his own likeness after his own image and called his name Seth. Why does it say after his own likeness, after image? Because whose image was Adam created in? We just read it. We read it in verse 1 of chapter 5. Okay, so it don't say nothing about Cain being created in the image of Adam. It says Seth was. Yah gave him another son. Adam lived 130 years and begot a son in his own likeness and after his own image and called his name Seth. Okay, this Seth was given to, Yah gave Seth, allowed Adam to have Seth to replace Abel, who was born in in Adam's image. Abel was born in Adam's image and likeness. Cain was not. Seth is being given to Adam to replace the seed or the offspring that Cain, the son of the serpent, killed. Okay? So I'm sharing this to show you that any ethnicity can come through the womb of Eve's now, because of the transgression that took place in the garden. This is why Israelites are born, but they cannot receive the inheritance. This is why Esau could not receive the inheritance. That's really what it means. When Yah says, when Yah said, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated, that means Yah is saying, even before they were born, Yah knows what a child is in the womb. Before they do anything good or bad, Yah already knows who is the child of promise, who are those that are the Adamites, okay, type child, those who are the sons of Jacob type, okay? And as I said before, every person that looks like a Hebrew Israelite, okay, just because you're born of a mother and father that were Hebrew, does not mean you will be a remnant of Israel. Does not make you a remnant of Israel, okay? Does not. John chapter 10, verse 27. Also, Romans chapter 9, verse 6. All right, now, so here is, okay, let's look at Romans 9, 8. All right, let's look at Romans 9, 8. And don't forget, don't forget John 8:44. John 8:44, that is where Yeshua uh, tells the Pharisees that seek to kill him. Matter of fact, let's go to John 8:44 right now. Let's go to John 8:44, because I really don't think sometimes people believe that that Satan has little children on the earth. I know they don't. And anything can come through the bloodline. But the remnant of Israel are believers in Yeshua. They believe he is the son of Yah. They don't believe he's the son of Joseph. And they also believe the commandments, words, and sayings of Yeshua. Okay. Now I'm in John. I'm in John 8:44. Okay. John 8:44. I'm going to read at verse 42, because in verse 42, it said, okay, I'll start at verse 41. You do the deeds of your father. Then said they unto him, we be not born of fornication. We have one Father, even God. That's what they're saying. That's what the Pharisees are saying. But Yeshua said unto them, if God or the Father, if God were your father, you would love me. You see that? If God were your father, you would love me. You would love, for I proceeded forth and came from God. It didn't say I came from the Father. He didn't say I came from Joseph. Though people, Israelites and others that say that, that is because they're serpent seed. They're serpent offspring. Anybody that tells you he came from Joseph, you are looking at a child of the devil. Just know that. Yes, you are. That's proof one right there, number one. The fact that they say that Yeshua proceeded forth from Joseph. You're looking right at a child of the devil, whether you want to believe in that. Now, if you want to believe Yeshua, you want to believe Yah, then you should. But I'm sharing it to you right here. Anybody that says that is a child of the devil. Okay? All right? A child of the serpent. Yes, and they are on the earth today. All right? Read Romans 9:22 also. All right. The deeds of your father. You do the deeds of your father. And then he goes on to say, if God were your father, you would love me, for I proceeded forth and came from the Father. Neither came I of myself, but the Father sent me. Why do you not understand my speech? Even because you cannot hear my word. You are of your father, the devil. You are of your father, the devil. And the desires of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. Okay. Now, who was a murderer from the beginning? Cain, was he not? Did he not? Was not the first murder that took place, wasn't Abel the one that was born in the likeness and the image of Adam? And Adam was born in the likeness and the image of Yah. And what? The child of the devil, the son of the devil, killed the earthly son of Yah, whose name is Abel. Okay. He was a murderer from the beginning, and he abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaks of a lie, he speaks of his own language, for he is a liar and the father of lies. See that? So, yes, did Yeshua believe and teach that there were literal children on the earth who are of uh, the serpent? Yes. Serpent seed? Yes, definitely. I gave you 1 John 3, verse 12. Okay? I gave you other proofs. Okay, where is it also said? Psalms 58:3. Psalms 58:3. Okay? Psalms 58:3 also reveals this as well. And as I'm saying before, anything can come, any type of bloodline can come through that womb. Because why? Because of what took place in the garden. Okay, that's why the serpent, Satan, waited until waited till Mrs. Adam was created. Okay, waited till womb man was created. Why do you think he waited till she was created? Think about that. Don't say nothing to me. Don't talk to me. Think, think. Use critical thinking, Israel. Why do you think Satan, that old serpent, the dragon, waited till Mrs. Adam was created? Okay? Think. Don't ask me nothing. Don't say nothing to me. I'm teaching. You think. You think. Now, Psalms 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from Yah, even from the womb. Do you see that? Okay, I've got to help because but to help bring the understanding. That's what I'm supposed to do. Jeremiah 3:15. The wicked are estranged from Yah, even from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. Do you see that? They are like the deaf adder. The adder is a type of, what do you call it? Serpent or snake or reptile. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming ever so wisely. See there? Then it goes on to say, break their teeth, O Yah, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Yah. Okay? Now, you see it right there in verse 3. Let's see what else. All right. Let's see. All right, let's go to Romans. Let's go to Romans 9:8. Let's go to Romans 9:8, shall we? Romans 9:8. Romans 9:8. And here is what I was sharing with you before about Abraham having to separate his other 7 sons away from Isaac because they're not the same type. They're not the same type. And the children of the flesh cannot inherit, do not receive the inheritance that the children of God or the children of Yah are to receive. That's why they have to be separated. All right. So now, let's see where I want to go. Let's start at verse 6 of Romans 9. Not as though the word of Yah has taken none effect, but it's because they are not all Israel which are of Israel. See, not every person that has the visage, the outer appearance of the Israelite is a remnant. Okay? Everyone isn't. Okay? If a person is really a remnant of Israel, they will believe on Yeshua according to the scriptures. Okay? They will love him. They will keep his instructions. They won't be trying to keep Levite instructions when they're supposed to be keeping, when they're under the Messianic covenant. They won't be trying to keep Levite instructions, like wearing fringes and all that. They'll get born of the Spirit. They'll obey the instructions of Yeshua. They'll love Yeshua. They'll believe he is the Son that came forth from Father Yah. That's what they'll believe. If they don't believe that, they are not a remnant. They are a child of the flesh, or they are a serpent seed type. Okay, that's what they are. Okay, verse 7. Neither because they are the offspring of Abraham does that make them all children of Yah. But in Isaac shall your seed be called. In Isaac, just as Isaac, Father made a pronouncement and came and told Abraham that Ishmael is not my child of promise. He is a child of flesh. You must send him away from the child of promise, who is Isaac. He cannot inherit. Isaac is my child of promise. Okay? Neither because they are the offspring of Abraham, just because they are the offspring of Abraham, does not automatically make them a child of promise, as Isaac is. Just because you have the visage of an Israelite and you think that you are a son of Jacob doesn't mean you are remnant type. Okay? Doesn't mean you're a remnant type. Now, somebody told you something because they want to get their numbers up in their camp. Okay? I get that. But if you ain't believing on Yeshua according to the scriptures, and the scriptures don't say he's from the sperm of Joseph, and if you're not obeying the words of our Redeemer, if you don't turn from transgression, okay, Isaiah 59 verse 20, if you don't turn from transgression, okay, then you are not a remnant type Israelite. You are not an Isaac type. You're not a Jacob type. Okay? You're not an Abraham type. You're not an Adam type. Now, neither because they are the offspring of Abraham does that make them all children of Yah, but in Isaac shall your offspring be called. Verse 8, that is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of God, but the children of the promise are counted for the offspring of Yah. Verse 9, for this is the word of promise that Yah brought to Abraham. At the set time will I come, Yah says, and Sarah shall have a son. Verse 10, and not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, that means by one man, even our father Isaac, for the children being not yet born, neither having done anything good or evil, that the purpose of Yah, according to his right to choose, might remain or stand, not of works, but of Yah who calls. Okay? Yah who calls. Read Romans 11:5 sometime. And Yah does call his remnant in righteousness. Yah calls his remnant in righteousness. It was said unto her, the older shall serve the younger. So where is this idea of servant, that somebody, there's one group of people going to be serving another group of people? Where did it come from? Abba Yah himself. Didn't you read it? And you read it back over there in Genesis 25 too. And you've seen it over here in Romans too. Okay? Yes. There is a royal line, which are the remnant, and there is a servant line. Yes, there is. It ain't something somebody's making up. Now, there's some people going around thinking that they are the royal line that look, but they're not even the royal line. They're not even remnant. Only the remnant type Israelites are the royal line on the earth today. Okay. And of course, the first fruit that Yah uses first fruit type Israelites to go gather the remnant for him, speak this word, and they hear the word and they respond to it and obey it. Okay. So right here, uh, right here we see verse 13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. When it says Jacob I love, it means Jacob is the one that is the one that will receive the remnant of Jacob are the ones that will receive a co-inheritance with Yeshua when Yah sets up the kingdom. Okay. All right. All right. Look, I wanted to bring that out. So, because there's a lot of uh, teaching that is off, but just to recap, Esau and Jacob share the womb, but just because they share the womb does not mean that they have the same fathers, do not mean that they are of the same ethnicity. Okay? I hope all of you, I hope you can share this lesson with others. And any of you have any questions, I will review this tomorrow, Yah willing, and I will answer or respond to any questions you have with scripture. Okay? Look, this has been Elder Shamar. All praises to the Most High Yah, Yeshua, Elohim, our Redeemer, our elder brother, our Messiah, our high priest, and all thanks to the Ruach HaKodesh, anointing and wisdom that he gives to be able to teach the word of our Father in the truth, okay, and in harmony. Okay? All right. Shalom, remnant of Israel. Shalom.